I'm sitting here talking to y'all and I have my mic muted. How about that? Rookie mistake. But no. What's up, YouTube? Bobbles and Ball Cards back with another video. Hope everybody has had a great week out there. It's Friday. Hope you all got through it well. I was not around really this week. I didn't do any videos. Wasn't on. Didn't record anything. Kind of was trying to, I guess you could say, relax in a sense, but I was actually doing other things. I just needed to kind of keep things on a calm level this week and wanted to work on some other things. So apologize, there was no content or any of that sort of thing out. But I wanted to get on tonight because there was, there's several topics that could be talked about. May have some guests pop on. I said that I invested in this StreamYard platform to start having people on again and chat and have discussions along with me, other than just my voice, other people's voices as well. So we shall see if others hop on. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start off tonight talking about not necessarily about SGC in general, but more so, I guess, kind of in general. But the group sub for early March is actually completed. It's on its way back. I am supposed to have it tomorrow. We will see how that goes. And then obviously we're preparing the late March, and it's going to be getting shipped out. I want to mention something because I have heard this around because SGC is hitting 10-day turnaround times. Okay. This order actually took 11 business days. So they're still running that track the same way with the 10 business days. I want to make a mention as someone who sees a bit more information than maybe the general eye, because I've been hearing rumor, well, SGC's got this great turnaround because they're not getting cards. That is anything but the truth, guys. They are actually getting more cards than they've ever gotten before. They've changed some logistical sides of things. They've, learned a lot growing. They've expanded everything else, and they're being able to hit these turnaround times. To give y'all some numbers and just some perspective, okay? Because I know I don't know all of the people out there that may do a preview or may do a grade reveal or whatever as far as group subs or anybody with any sort of numbers that are sending cards out, right? I know my channel for the past 2 years has done so. People got used to seeing 800, 1,000, 1,200, 1,700. I mean, you could go right here and look. And I do have Natsman in the waiting room, so we're going to get him on here in a minute. But if you go through here and look, 772, 583, 1,000 plus, 500, 1,700, 957. So I know recently where you see 237 or 516 or 355, it might look like, oh shit, Bobbles isn't sending numbers. That isn't the case at all. I'm going to give y'all some numbers right now. So in December, we sent them over 3,300 cards, but a large majority of that, over 2,800 of those 3,300 were platinum. Okay. The group accounted for about 470 cards. In January, that number actually declined for the month. We sent 2,124 cards out. Of those, 1,352 were platinum. The group accounted for 772 cards. So that was almost, it was about a 300 card increase for the group. And then in February, our number actually dipped again. It was 1,600. This time, platinum accounted for 667. Now, I want to explain something to you. Platinum sent out almost 3,000 cards in the month of December. They had inventory built up, so they haven't been sending 3,000 cards a month. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of cards. So their number has decreased a bit, but the group in the month of February did over 900. This month, so far, the group has sent 592 in. The order that we're going to be doing tomorrow, spoiler alert, is over another 700, which is going to put the group at approximately 1,300 cards this month. So although Platinum's number has been going down some, the group has increased tremendously. Our numbers are the same. It's just Platinum is not sending as much because he sent in almost 3,000 cards in the month of December. Okay, so I know that we broke the order up into early March, late March. We had the order where the guy sent 237. We got his on out, so it looks like our numbers are smaller because everybody's used to them clumped at one time. That's not how we're doing it this month. Don't panic if you're seeing 200 card orders, or don't get any perception that SGC is not getting cards. It's far from the truth. We're actually sending more than we normally do. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can figure out how to work this machine and get my man Natsman on here. Are you there? Well, why the hell can't I? Oh, wait. I got my volume.
Can you hear me?
On, I think.
I see me.
All right, I hear you. I hear you. We're all good, Natsman.
Hey, man, that's exciting news about the SGC submissions with the group, man, because I can say, man, I can remember when it all started, and man, I'm so excited for the group and SGC and how it's moved, and there's no doubt it's a solid number 2 in the hobby, in my opinion.
Well, that's why I wanted to put that out there, because I know people, if you see the numbers over the course of the past 2 years, it was normally 800, 1,000, 1,200, 15, 1,700 we were sending out at one time. To be honest with everybody, we did a early late because I seen the growth of the group. Last order that we did for February had 49 people in it. That is even with only 900 cards. When you break it into 49 people, that's a lot of contacting people. That's a lot of figuring out, we have people that actually submit through us through like 6 different social media platforms, emails, Facebook, Instagram, text message, all this different stuff. So we have to keep track of where everybody is. It's a lot. So I broke it into smaller segments to help us, honestly. I don't expect people to send in every order at all. It's not the reason why. It was simply to kind of break the load up a little bit and help us help you guys even more. So how are you, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
Had an interesting week, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm okay. How about that? We're going to stick it there.
I've got to ask you, man. With the group, I remember when you were contemplating it and kicking the idea around, and did you ever think it was ever going to get this big?
No, never. In fact, as many people that hound me or criticize me that don't really know the history or don't know me on a personal level, like they've never privately spoke to me, and they just assume based off of content, essentially, from all of the crap that's been tossed my way, what people need to understand is this was never my idea. Like, it was never my idea to be a group submitter. The group came about because the YouTube community grew and the group submissions were asked upon, and I needed a centralized place to communicate updates with everybody. And I figured, okay, Facebook would be a great place for it. Did I ever imagine that we would have, and it's not, large compared to some groups, but we're about at 600 people in a group, a community. I don't even, we have a file that we keep, but I don't even know how many different people we've sent cards in for now. How many different countries we've sent cards for. The last order, I sent a shipment out to the UK. Bless the guy. His name is Rob. I appreciate him a lot because I didn't even know how to address a package to the UK. My dumb ass was sitting there trying to put a city and state in, and it kept kicking it out. And I'm like, what am I doing wrong? So, but it's grown. Japan, UK, Canada, Guam, all, it's cool. It's cool. This is fun. It's a lot of work, but it's fun. So, meeting people like you, man. The National is going to be a blast. It's going to
I'm
be an
looking forward
absolute
to
blast. So,
I'm
what is up?
excited. This is
Let's
a
leave the chat here for a minute because I am bad about this. How do I do this? Show. Seth Gordon says hola, and then he followed that up with hey Nats man. Jim Loicano said hello Bobbles. How are you, Jim? Hope you're having a wonderful evening. JJ said that's what she said. That is what she said, brother. It's never expected to be that big. DK says that, which is David from the group. He said, glad you did it, Bobbles. And the missus says, hi, guys.
Hey, lady.
She was on the phone. I could hear her downstairs. But anyway, tonight, something I want to talk about, and one reason I did want to have guests on, because I think this is better than me just discussing it. People thinking, well, Bobbles is just talking shit, because that's what he does, right? I want to be upfront. When I seen the CSG announcement, I applauded them. Okay. I actually think it was a smart move, but it's also proven a lot of what Peter has said about the SGC label. I'm hearing mixed reviews. Is that where you're at on this? Some like it, some hate it.
Yep.
That's exactly what Peter said, why he didn't want to change the SGC one, because no matter what you do, some are going to be in favor, some are going to hate it. Some that currently like it won't like the new. It's a mixed bag. You're not going to please everybody kind of situation. I applauded them for listening. I also applauded them for changing the grading scale, because I actually think SGC's grading scale, which is what they mirrored, makes the most sense in the hobby. Not just because I use them, it just makes sense. Beckett has had their scale for a very long time, and Beckett's scale would also be the same way, except they have two pristines, which doesn't make sense. So what are your thoughts on the changes in regards to just the label and the fact that they changed the scale?
Well, full disclosure, I have submitted to CSG. I've submitted 50 cards, and I was also one of the ones. I think essentially everybody that did an order at some point got the letter for the feedback on the flip and customer service. There was customer service questions. There was questions about the subgrades. I'm very positive, in my opinion, unless you have a very high-end card for that population of the hobby that does it and wants it, for all sake purpose, and this is something we discussed earlier, all of us in the group, I think BGS is dead. This is a nail in their coffin for a traditional graded card. And I love that subgrades are not in on it no more. I'm not a subgrade person. It's the PSA doesn't do it. SGC doesn't do it. BGS did. I think, where these other vendors have gone. You've done videos. A lot of people in the hobby have done the videos about some of these startup companies. Look where they are. So
here's my thoughts on subgrades.
So what?
I say, here's my thoughts about subgrades. I know some people really, really, really want subgrades. My point is, when we pre-screen a card, and let's be real, none of us are graders, but we all know how to look a card over and halfway determine relatively close if the grading is consistent of what the card is going to get. Do we sit here and put subgrades when we're pre-screening a card? No. I don't, like, even if I pre-screen for somebody else, I'll write some notes down just to remind myself what I've seen on the card to let them know why I think the card might be an 8 or, a 9 or whatever. Outside of that, I'm not telling them, your corners are a 9.5, your edges are a 9. I'm not doing that, and we are able to manage relatively close with experience on sending our cards in. So really, I don't get the point of needing subgrades. If you pre-screen and look your cards over, you send it in and it comes back, and you have experience and knowledge and know what that card looked like when you sent it in, you should already pretty much, look at Nolan. That dude sends thousands of cards in. He keeps notes of what he pre-screens them at, and he'll tell you when he does his return whether or not they were close.
Well, this last video he just put out, he just said, you've got to know the grading service, what their standards are before you send a card.
Right.
And then with trial and error, you're going to know based on cards that you submit. You just can't submit, this and I know this, but a lot of new people don't realize this. And I learned this. You can't send in a handful of cards one time and think, oh, I'm getting all 10s or I'm getting all 9.5s, because you're going to get slaughtered because you don't know what they want until you start sending in cards on a consistent basis, in my opinion. And then you're going to know, like you said, you're looking at the card. I know SGC is all about centering front and back.
The other thing you have to have with that, though, and this is something that might ruffle some feathers tonight with people that watch this, whether they're on now watching or later on. But you have to be able to use a company that you have confidence in that is going to grade to their standards consistently and accurately. It doesn't matter what you think the card is by you looking at it. If they're not consistent and accurate to their standards, you could look at that card 10,000 times, send it in, and it could be different every time. So that's where my topic is going to lead to with the CSG thing. I posted a poll in the group.
I didn't see the poll.
Okay. I posted a poll here in the group. Okay. Right. And it says, I'm going to do a little deep diving explanation on this. I meant to put a little deep diving without explanation on this, as I just want to see what the overall opinion is and understanding of grades as numbers versus grades as words. Should CSG automatically bump a 9.5 gem mint to a 10 gem mint with their new scale that now contains a mint plus grade? Now, as you can see here, the votes currently were 18 yes and 7 at no.
I just voted.
Now, I'm going to explain why I asked that question. It was stated that if you have a CSG 9.5 gem mint from their old standard and you send it in, you can pay $5, get the new label, and it will be bumped to a 10 gem mint. Okay? In our minds, we're hearing gem mint and gem mint, right?
It's gem mint.
It's gem mint. Gem mint. All right. But what they also said was, if you send in a pristine 10 from the previous grading scale, that will be lowered to a gem mint. Tell me why. And I'm going to show some stuff of why, what my opinion is on this, because I did not say anything. I did not post my opinion. I just left the poll up. My opinion is no.
And I voted no as well. I'm the 8th vote. I did it in while you were talking about it.
Well,
and I'm probably going to agree 100% with you on this one.
So I want to show this first. And I don't know if people can see this very well. This is the old pristine 10. This is the new Gem Mint 10. Okay? If you read this, it says a pristine 10 is a card that has received a 10 grade overall. Centering can measure 55-45, no less than a 9.5 subgrade. But the other 3 subgrades must be a 10. Corners will appear perfect to the naked eye and gem mint under 10x magnification. The surface is free of print spots and should also display perfect gloss devoid of any surface flaws, right? That's their old pristine 10. Gem Mint 10, I am going to essentially repeat myself except changing a few words. A Gem Mint 10 is a card that has received a 10 grade overall. However, one of the grading criteria. Now, this is where they did a change. Instead of saying centering can be a 9.5, they said one of the criteria does not meet the requirement of a perfect 10. Okay? But then it goes on to repeat the exact same thing of corners appear to be perfect under the naked eye. They changed that from gem mint to mint plus under 10x magnification. And then the surface, it also has to be free of spots and should also display perfect gloss devoid of any surface flaws. Now, if you have a perfect gloss and no surface flaws, in my mind, that's a 10 surface subgrade. They don't have any mention of edging in here to determine like what is, the construct of edges. The only difference I see is them saying, well, instead of centering being the one that we have a tolerance for, now it can be one of essentially 3, because right here they're saying surface must be free of any defects, essentially. What is your take on that? Because right here, by reading this to this, they're saying this pristine 10 that they used to grade is now what the Gem Mint 10 is.
It looks like, yeah, because they essentially had their version of a black label.
Nope. This is the pristine
on the
10.
old standard. On the old standard.
No. I'll show you what I'm showing.
Didn't they have a 10? Didn't CSG have?
Yes, but the one I was reading, the one I was reading is the pristine. They had a perfect as well. I am only reading the pristine.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is they got rid of the perfect, right? Basically, they got rid of the perfect, their version of black label.
No, they actually
made it essentially a gold label SGC equivalent.
Here, let's just get right to it. Let's unveil the mystery. I want you to look here on the left, and you have the old scale Gem Mint 9.5, the one that they are now going to say can bump up to this Gem Mint 10, right? And then you have the new 9.5 Mint Plus right here. If you read both of these, do you see any difference in what these standards are? A Gem Mint card is nearly flawless to the naked eye. Centering must be 50-50 one way and 55-45 the other. Corners must be mint to the naked eye, but subtle wears allowed under magnification. Edges must be original with only one minor flaw. A few extremely minor print spots that are detectable under magnification are allowed. You go over to the Mint Plus, the only difference you get is Gem Mint changes to Mint Plus. A Mint Plus card is nearly flawless to the naked eye. Centering must be 50-50 one way and 55-45 the other. Corners must be mint to the naked eye, but subtle wears allowed under magnification. Edges must be original with only one minor flaw. A few extremely minor print spots. It's the exact same verbiage, but they are now saying that these become these. How do you magically, for slipping them a $5 bill, how do you magically, this becomes this? Explain it, CSG. Explain it. Oh, and let's also remind everyone, subgrades are tossed out the window so nobody can even question it.
Is it because they always said that the CSG 9.5 was an equivalent to a PSA 10?
Their standards right here written are identical.
Do you think that's got anything to play with it?
You want to know what I
what they
personally
wrote.
feel? After reading all of this and digging into it, and my personal feeling, they needed to rebrand. They needed to change the label, and they wanted to change the grading scale. Who, in their right mind, is going to pay for a new label and devalue the condition of a card? This is my point and why I wanted to bring this topic up tonight. Everybody cares about what this label says. Nobody cares about what this description says. When people are going out buying a card, spending tons of money on PSA 10s, who, by the way, have the worst grading standards in the industry posted right on their website. But people still pay more for that label. They know people don't care what this says. This and this are identical, but nobody's going to care. Now, me personally, I will not touch a CSG Gem Mint 10 now because I don't know if it should be a 9.5 Mint Plus.
And if you're on the flip, it could be.
If you own this, you're screwed.
To upgrade a 9.5, an old 9.5 to a 10, because like you said, you're not going to know what the
nobody's going to pay to send their pristines in. People that have the old pristine 10, they're screwed.
Honestly, if you're out there looking for a card, you're looking for a slab that's a 10 pristine, I'd start snatching some of them up, to be honest. They're cheap anyway. If you got a
but nobody's going to value it. Nobody's going to value it because if you sent it in to get a new label, they're going to make it a Gem Mint.
No, I would hold it as the old label.
But nobody's going to buy it from you.
I would leave it as a 10 pristine.
Let's toss JD in here. Let's get him up here. What's up,
JD,
man?
I know JD's got an opinion on this one.
Hey, guys.
So, for everybody out there watching, I asked both of these cats to get on because they've both graded with CSG. My only experience with them is 2 cards that were authentic altered. I have my opinions on this based upon what CSG is stating right in their own verbiage. I actually appreciated CSG changing their scale. I appreciated them listening to their customers and changing the flip. I thought that was smart. But this, moving to this, it's all about them getting the $5 per card for people to send back in to get the new label. It has nil to do with actually how they're grading the cards. Personally, excuse my language, but that is very shitty.
Well,
it's very shitty.
Look at Card Market Media. Throw his comment up.
This one right here?
Yeah.
He has several pristines.
Card Market, just put a comment down there. Are you going to flip? Just curious. And what's up, Canton?
What's up, Guns? How are you, brother?
If you have a pristine right now, you're screwed.
Yep.
You're screwed.
If you want to flip to the new label.
Well, you're I think you're stuck between a rock and a hard place because you had prior to this, right? You had a premium card, right? Do we all agree with that by the grading standards? You had like the best of the best that they offered. Now you have a Gem Mint 10.
Yep.
So like, while it's still a nice card, it's, you're taking it from a gold label, black label type thing, and you're putting it down to just a 10, which is still a great card. Don't get me wrong, but you're losing that like pizzazz or whatever the word is.
What are they doing with the perfect then?
The perfect is like It's
The perfect stays.
Mr. Perfect from WWF.
So here's how it's going to go, Nats, man. The perfect, and I'll bring this back over, okay? So this is the old statement. The perfect will stay. That has to have quad tens. That's like your unicorn, okay? Basically, what's happened is the pristine is being eliminated. Your pristine is now becoming your gem 10,
Right.
which is why I call horseshit. Because all of you guys that sent in your cards that were struggling to get 9.5s, how in the hell do they say now, well, our bad, the 9.5 is going to a 10, but yet when you read the standards, they're identical with this 9.5 and this 9.5 reads identically the same. How do you just magically say, here's $5, turn it into the pristine?
It sucks, but I got 4 Lou Bob cards that are 9.5s. That if I wanted, it would be good for me to do a $5 investment.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, that's my point, and that's what I wanted to discuss. Okay, for financial purposes, that's where the poll came in. If people have cards, they're going to say, yes, I want that 9.5 turned into a 10, because then that makes my card more valuable.
Yep.
Okay?
But
by hobby standards, and if we're going to solve the issues, look at all the bitching we do about PSA's crap grading. Okay? How are we going to condone CSG saying, pay me $5 and I'll turn your 9.5 into a gem mint?
Yeah, you get a half grade bump, $5
for $5. Oh, but if you got that perfect 10 that was so freaking hard to get, and you pay us $5, we're gonna deduct that bitch.
I would have been okay. Like we Bobbles and I talked a little bit earlier, and I'd be okay where if I sent my 9.5 in and they reviewed it, and listen, if it got knocked down to a 9, so be it.
Well, I don't think it should get knocked down. I think it should either stay a 9.5,
either stay
or potentially bump.
Right,
I don't think there should be an auto bump.
Right. I'm like, I've thought about this all afternoon, and it's kind of like it's a no-brainer for me, right? I mean, some of these cards. Well, I'm trying to look at these. Honestly, everything I have in a CSG 9.5 is something that I'm keeping like PC, but like. You know, I saw Eric, those back pages put on Twitter. It's the subgrade thing there, Nats. Like, I have this Soto rookie. Oops, wrong way. With 4 9.5 subgrades. Like, to me, it doesn't make any difference. I'd rather eliminate the subgrades and get a 10, right? I mean, who gives a rat's ass about the subgrade? But if you're telling me for $60 I can turn 12 cards into 12 10s, okay. That it's like a no-brainer to me.
And I get it on that outside guy that's got a stack of 9.5s, and he can pay $5 now to turn them. He's essentially turning his old, and we're going to just go right back over here. He's essentially turning this into this.
Right.
Because this is the same as this, and this is damn near identical to this. So he's going from here to here for $5.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I have such an issue. I would have gave CSG mad props for what they did today. But this is a bad look.
Mm-hmm.
It's pay me $5 and I'll hook you up.
That's exactly it. It's a cash grab. Like, that's what I said earlier in the chat, right? Talking like this could potentially have a couple of effects, right? So it's a clear, quick money grab, and then how many people are going to rush to send in their 9.5s? So it could potentially create another backlog situation. Again, you're not going to get. I don't think you're going to get hundreds of thousands of 9.5s because there just really aren't that many. But
and they didn't have to do this. That's what makes it so bad. I can't.
Right.
Guns, I love you, bro. They're consistent in grading. I trust their grading. A lot of folks do. Are they too hard on some stuff? Yeah, I think so.
Well, that's my question. How does these standards, and this is my whole point of what Guns is saying, the consistent grading. I know SGC isn't the top dog. They're not sitting on the throne. They're not king, yada, yada, yada. But just as I said earlier, when I inspect a card, I know damn well they're consistent and they're going to be fair on their grading. I know my card 99.9% of the time is going to be graded consistently and accurately. Okay. Is it going to be tossed up there? Oh, well, this one's a 10 today. It's a 9 yesterday, but today it's a 10. No, I don't have that worry, right? I appreciate that. Now, is many of the things I send in for my PC and is some of the stuff don't even have corners or freaking they got holes in it or no borders and all of that? Sure. I'm a different animal in the sports card space. I sell cards. I make good money selling cards.
Right.
And I don't need the tip of the top dollar. I prefer a company that is treating stuff the right way and doing things the right way. Okay. That's why I dug into the verbiage. What does the standards say?
Yeah, because in our chat, you brought it up. In the chat we're in, you brought it up. I was like, oh my God. And then I didn't see any of this until you brought this up. And that's, wow.
Because everybody expects the label to tell the story, but you got to know what the standards are. And that's why, like, this here tells the entire story of why it's horseshit that they're taking the 9.5s and bumping them to a 10 and taking a pristine 10 and bumping it to a gem mint.
Let me ask you this question, and this can be for you too and everybody in the chat. How many people, besides like us nerds, read the grading standards? And because this is why I'm saying this. It doesn't matter the group. It doesn't matter the grading company. But when people get their cards back, it's just, I got 553 eights. I got 1 9 and a half 10. Like, what? What's a half 10? So, read what the standards are so you know. Look at your cards and then make a decision. Do you want to send them in or not? Going back to what you said about SGC, for the 2 years I've been grading cards on my own. That's the only I've graded a few cards with PSA and I've graded a handful with CSG, but 95% of my collection and grading is done through SGC. I pretty much know what I'm getting when I send those cards in because they're consistent every time. I've never gotten a card back where I've messaged you, Bobbles, and said, what the hell happened on this card? Or I can't believe I got this grade. Everything is within a half point of where I look at it and say. And I'm not saying I'm a pro, but it's just I've come to understand what they're looking for, what they're going to knock me on, and I'm comfortable at $23 a card sending those cards knowing what I'm going to get back. Now, there's some like that Barkley I just sent in. I wasn't really sure what I was going to get on that because there was some chipping. I was like, I don't know, maybe an 8. I got a 7.5. Still a super rare card, don't care,
So anyway, you brought up a great point, right? When people send cards, everything is a 10, right? Mm-hmm. I seen a comment on a video of somebody saying, basically the PSA SGC chatters, SGC people, they want PSA 10 prices, but they don't even buy SGC 10s themselves.
Right.
Let me throw this question out there because, again, I see a lot of cards come through here. I kind of gather who is collecting them, who is selling them, etc., right? How many of us, when we send the cards in, we want a 10? But when we're on eBay, how many of us are searching for a 10?
I never search for a 10. Ever.
There's my point.
I will search a 10 to see what pricing is.
Yeah,
but I may not. I won't
yeah.
buy one.
So that's a great point. So
That's my point. Everybody wants to grade the 10, but nobody is actually buying the 10.
Right.
Because it's too much.
Yeah.
Even you go and watch these dudes doing the Dallas card show videos and everything else. How many times are they showing a card in an 8 or a 9 that they're picking up and buying and selling and flipping and this and that? The 10 is just
it's a unicorn.
It's the goal. Yep. But really, when we're buying something, we're all cheap asses.
Yeah.
We don't want to pay the premium for that 10 because that difference in a 9 and a 10 or even the sometimes a 9.5 price.
We don't want the electric Bronco. We want the gas Bronco because it's cheaper.
Yes, and we want it with the damn lawnmower engine and not even the 4-cylinder.
Yes.
To save on fuel. That's the thing. It's like when I hear it so many times. Oh, I thought that was going to get a 10. Now, if it's for your collection and you pulled the card and you send it in and it gets the 10, trust me, I get it totally. You want that's like a great satisfaction. Or if you pre-screened your cards and you sent them in and you thought they were all 10s and you hit on it, that's a great satisfaction. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Some of these people out there that are saying, well, SGC don't sell, I'm curious to know what they're selling because I can sell 9s and 9.5s all damn day long.
9.5s are so easy to sell, it's not even funny.
But I'm selling 8s.
Like, look at it.
I'm selling 8s.
See this? Can you see that? I know this is ghetto showing it like this, but this same Shaq card in a 10.
I don't know how to make you full screen. My bad.
That's right. 92 Fleer, the Golden Book. It's a perforated card. This card in a 10 is like 2 G's. I picked this 9 up for $100. like, what is going? Like, why would anybody? Again, what's the difference in the card? You know what I mean? Like, what's the difference?
How many people are buying and Refractor? I'm gonna put his back up because he mentioned graded sets. How many people out there? And this is a vague set to begin with, but how many people out there are actually affording buying or even trying to put together a 86 Fleer PSA 10 set?
Right.
Now, if you're in the 86 Fleer group, you see people all the time. Hey, I'm working on my PSA 8 or I'm working on my PSA 9. That's a different animal because there's some cards low popped in there.
Yep.
But he has a perfect point here. Sometimes building sets, there's people that still do that, believe it or not. People still build sets. It's an anomaly, but it happens.
Yep.
Even as a collector, y'all see my collecting habits. I will buy whatever the hell I can afford. That label or that numerical or letters or whatever, it doesn't matter to me because I really just want to own the card.
Right.
And it cracks me up, I wish it was a 10. Oh, I could have made so much more money on a 10. But then I'm like, who in the hell is even buying the 10s? Like, I never hear anybody say I bought a 10.
Yeah, even going back to Nolan there, right? Christ, why can't I think of his
Alico.
He's like a huge proponent of he doesn't buy 10s. He like that's like his mantra, right? He grades and he sells the 10s and keeps the 9 or whatever. Like he said that for quite a while. The 10 thing, I don't know who's buying it. It is what it is. If I can find a 10 at a within my comfort zone, I'll grab it. But it's not something I'm hopping on eBay and going, oh my God, what's out there for SGC 10s or PSA 10s or this or that. If it's a player that I'm interested in, if the card fits my budget, I'm more apt to either get the 9.5 from the SGC, a PSA 9, or I'll look CSG.
Well, now you can search CSG 9.5 because I'm going to be honest. one of my top searches and funnest things to do. I've bought some random shit like
Hey, you know, you're talking about buying
Sebastian Janikowski, home
Seabass.
rookie, and a 9. Why? Because one night I was bored and I went on and typed in CSG 9 and went to auctions and what was ending.
Yeah.
I don't search 10s.
Right. Right.
Listen, hey guys, I literally, as this conversation has been going on, just fixed a deal on a PSA 9 because I can't get it in a SGC, but it's a 2018 Juan Soto throwback.
Can I have that?
The yellow one, PSA 9. I finally got one at price that I wanted. It's a 9, and I got it. I messaged he didn't even do best offer. I messaged him. We've been tagging back and forth. He just sent me the offer on this last one I offered to buy it. And it's, oh my God, it's like $400 cheaper than a 10.
Yeah.
And
So
it's the same card. Tell me how a PSA 9 and a PSA 10, you're looking at these cards, or you can tell the difference.
You can't.
Yeah,
so you can go way back on the rewind wheel on my collecting style and habits. And anybody that's been around the channel and has heard the stories about any of this, in 2017 on that back wall, there is a lot of BGS slabs back there. In 2017, I was putting together the Nationals starting lineup. My goal was to get like a field painted, and I wanted to mount the cards in the players' positions. You couldn't find the first Bowmans of the players in 2017 in PSA slabs or SGC slabs, or CSG didn't exist. None of it, right? It was BGS. I said many times, I bought them. My goal was to build them in a 9 or better. I have many 9s. If I found the 9.5 and it was cheap enough, I bought the 9.5. Otherwise, I bought the 9 and put it on my shelf. My Max Scherzer Bowman Chrome Rookie Refractor is a 9. I think I showed y'all one time, I paid like $8 for it or something like that.
Yeah.
It's worth way the hell more today. It's just the way I've always been. My Ovechkin, I just showed that. It's an 8. That was simply a strategic move because I had a price point I wanted to pick this card up at, and it was in the 8 where I could buy it at. This, how much is this now, guys? I know you know, JD.
What is it? Oh, the Ovi?
Yeah.
It's a couple grand.
That was $325 when I bought it.
Right.
So, that's my thing with it. It's just a fun topic when everybody's like, I want the 10, I want the 10, I want the 10. But then I never hear anybody say they're buying 10s. Like, you can watch people's mail days. How many people are showing 10s in their mail days?
Right.
So it's just, when I seen that comment and the guy was like basically knocking SGC folks, I'm not going to spit names out, but I'm pretty sure they're in the group. I just haven't figured out who they are in the group. It's somebody that thinks I have them blocked on YouTube, but I don't. I see everything they post, their comments and live chats, all that. And their comment was actually kind of directed because of a comment in a post that was made in our group. So I just thought it was funny because they were kind of like knocking SGC people about us always, talking, hey, is the gap closing, this, that, and the other. And then they're like, well, they don't even buy SGC 10s themselves. And it's like,
it's probably somebody that even subs to HGA.
I don't know.
That's still a thing.
I don't know.
What they had, 3,000 openings?
That company, I mean, geez, talk about.
I don't really pay much attention to them.
Like PGI.
Bob will say FTP. What the hell is FTP?
I don't know.
I know I'm down with the OPP.
Yeah. Canton's and Cali. You never know what that means.
Hey, Jim, I'm with you, man. It's frustrating, brother. It can drive you nuts. Yeah, that'd be cool. Refractor to get on here, man. He's
Refractor. I mean, if anybody wants to join, hit me on either Instagram or Facebook, and I can shoot you a link. Just post in here that you messaged me. I can shoot anybody a link if they want to join. I don't know how many people we can have on this damn thing, but we can figure it out.
This is premium, right?
Yeah, I paid for whatever the hell it is that you can run.
I think you can do up to 6.
Yeah, I don't know how many it is.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, I want to do this more. And honestly, that's why I wanted you guys on, and why I asked you and Natsman and Scott and a couple other people, because I knew you guys had the experience and you guys submitted with CSG. Trust me, I'm not trying to shit on CSG right now or anybody that uses them. That's not the point of this. I just think it's wrong that they're going to take this grade and go here when this grade is the one that matches. It's like the old match game. If you were to flip these over and you were, in school and you made little flashcards and you flip these over, which ones match?
Right.
And for $5, you get a bonus.
Man, it was really cool. I'm gonna be honest. I thought this whole thing, until you showed this with the 10s, because I haven't looked. I was looking at the Intimidators and the Fredericksburg National game.
Right.
Coming up, and I haven't even looked. But I really thought that it was all right. Your 9.5 is essentially equivalent to a 10 now, so we're going to give you that opportunity. But that really sucks on the backside for the 10. They should just say, we're going to give you that. You want to get it re-slabbed, you're going to hold your grade.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Charge you $5 if you want a new slab. That I'm down with that. That's cool. But if you got that 10 and it's coming down, that ain't right. That's just
that's the issue, though. That's the entire issue.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, did my computer? Oh, here we go.
Yeah, Jay mentioned it sucks on the backside for that.
Come on.
I mean, because it's great for the front.
So if you took this and said, okay, pay me $5, we're going to this, then once again, you're paying $5 to get bumped.
Right.
But the whole thing about a 9.5, the whole thing about a 9.5 is that it could be a 10.
No, I'm talking about, you're talking about the pristine to perfect.
But that's the whole thing about a 9.5, though, is that's the whole thing about the 9.5 grade. That's why PSA won't do it.
Card Market puts up a good point right here. In a year, nobody will even think about it. And I even said that. I said, this is something that eventually no one's even going to remember. Just like in 2017, nobody remembers BGS being on the throne and PSA was like shining their shoes. Right. But this is the kind of stuff of why PSA climbed that ladder to that throne. Just as I stated, PSA has the easiest scale mentioned, written right on their website. Clearly the easiest scale. Everybody knew it was easiest to get the Gem 10s with them. Also, they were the cheapest to grade with outside of, can anyone guess who was actually cheaper than PSA?
SGC was, weren't they?
Nope.
In the 90s?
No, recently. Well, from 2017 to 2020.
BGS was pretty cheap for a while, weren't they?
Nope.
I mean, are you counting CSG?
No, it was GMA.
Oh, GMA.
There you go. Carlisle got it. GMA.
So they were like $4 a card, right?
GMA was cheapest, then PSA, then it was SGC on the bulk side. They were $10 if you did it yourself and like $8.50 if you did bulk. PSA, if I remember correctly, was $6, and GMA was $4. BGS, I don't remember what their bulk rate was, but it was pretty
It was like
pricey.
15.
Yeah, it was 15 or 20 or something like that. So if you go with the original 3, but obviously everybody only looked at GMA as the guy in his basement doing the grading. PSA was the cheapest, and they had the easiest written standards right on their website. That's where the popularity really got driven for in more of an ultra modern sense. People always sent them vintage, just like SGC. They always got the vintage cards. Leading into that, what do you think of the excuse all the time that people say PSA gets a price advantage because of a set registry?
So, Natsman, you want to go first?
You go first. You go first.
So, not only so I think a couple areas where PSA grabbed the bull by the horns and left everybody in the dust. They made collecting technology friendly first, right? So whether it was their app with the set registry app, you have the scan for the pop report thing, and then the set registry. Then they had the SMR magazine you could get. So they sold you a brand. They built a brand, is what they did. They built a Nike, they built an Adidas, and that's the approach they took. BGS once, and Refractor's on here, so he can bitch slap me if I'm wrong. But once Dr. Beckett sold BGS to whoever the hell they sold it to, it wasn't about the collector anymore. It was, how are you making us money? What are you showing our profit sheet? What are you showing the investors? Where PSA just kept doing their thing and making it collector friendly, this, that, and the other thing. And the registry, when you're a set collector or a player collector and you're invested in that, it's really hard to get away from it. When if I had 500 kg slabs in a PSA, I'm not cracking. I cracked one card and Bobbles cracked it for me. So I've never cracked a card because if I cracked it, I'd cut my finger off and I'd mess the card up. So I've cracked one card. If I buy a card in a slab, it stays in that slab. 9 out of 10. Well, most of the time, right? But what they did, where I think they excelled back in like the mid to late 2000s, was they making as technology grew, they grew. BGS was still doing friggin' pencil and paper, and it was confusing as shit. And SGC is now realizing all of this stuff, and they've made this. They've paid attention. They've listened. CSG definitely has listened. They've come out with a lot of the same things that people always bitch about. Oh, SGC needs a set registry. They need this. I don't know too many people nowadays that have gotten back into the hobby that are straight set builders, player collectors, or what. I don't see that. I see more of, I've got my Instagram account. I'm going live at a card show. I'm showing you a sapphire chrome reverse refractor of Giannis, and I got my fresh J's on, and I'm going to flip it to this cat, and I'm going to pick up 3 Lucas, and I'm going to turn around and eat a pretzel, and then I'm going to go flip them over here, and then I'm going to come back with my Gucci gear on, bing, bang, boom, put a little product in my hair, and call it a video. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of what, and PSA fits that lifestyle. I don't even know if that makes sense, but that's what I see. And that's why I think, like, the registries, it's important because of a lot of different factors. I think for the average Joe now, it's irrelevant. I really do.
So what I was really more focusing on is your guy with the Gucci and the Prada and all that you were talking about. That's saying in Facebook chats or in YouTube chats or whatever, the PSA is king and the gap is there because of the registry. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know of a single soul. What's the highest card ever graded a PSA 10 in history? A Zion Prism, I believe.
Yeah, base Prism.
How many people's ever put one in a registry?
Right.
With this whole registry, Bobbles, we've
Somebody's
talked
got
about
an
this,
echo.
JD. We've talked about this.
I think it's me.
I'm not in the grade section. When I left the hobby, putting slabs was very rare, and it was to ensure that was not a fake card. That was it. And that was usually between people that did big deals. It wasn't your everyday hobbyist. They were still using screw downs, right? And one touches. And from what I've seen, as far as the registry is concerned, it was a tool. It was a tool to sell to get more cards slabbed through PSA. It was marketing, and it worked. It got a lot of people hooked. I can see where it's addictive, but until they drop the prices, folks aren't going to submit a 1982 Donruss generic baseball card to complete a set. Even Mike, the baseball collector, said the other week on his video, he's got sets completed that would be in the registry, but he hasn't submitted them because he's not spending that kind of money to get it slabbed. Big Scott's, he's questionnaire and he's not able to get on here, but he does the registry. And so he's still active in it. So there's some folks that do it, but I think he's not really submitting stuff. I don't want to speak out of word, but it was all marketing. It's all marketing, and I don't think it's relative anymore based on pricing.
No, I mean, I get there's a side and still an appeal to a registry for a guy like Mike, baseball collector. He's got his vintage stuff, he's got his Hall of Fame autographs, that sort of thing. I don't even use PSA for my grading, but if I need a quick reference on, like a random guy on the Hall of Fame baseball registry, or on the Hall of Fame list, I'll pull up the registry because it's all listed right there. And now I'm not doing the registry, but it's a nice checklist. Okay. I completely get that. My point is when people are comparing ultra modern cards, why is a Zion and a PSA 10 so much more? And someone says, well, PSA has the registry. Bro, you're not putting your Zion in the registry. You're not putting your Juan Soto's in the registry. You're not putting your Lubobs in the registry. You're not putting your Jaws. You're not putting your Lucas. You're not, all these new guys that are being flooded in, your LaMelos, I got the number 4 LaMelo registry at PSA.
Right. You could argue that the registry has been replaced with people's social media accounts. That's your registry now. Make it like I do it every day. Every time I get a card, I make some stupid filter and whatever, and I put it on my Instagram. That's my registry.
You've been doing good too, JD. You've impressed me, brother.
Thanks, man. You know what?
Y'all need to check his Instagram out. He's got some cool music and stuff.
You put some music on. Now that I figured out after 6 months how to put music on there, dude, I was messaging Natsman like, "How the hell you get music on yours? I only got these stupid preloaded songs." I'm like, "This sucks." And then I finally figured it out. But
what, on Instagram?
Yeah. It took me
I am an Instagram noob. I post on there every now and then. I posted a card last night because it's another topic I don't know if you guys know much about. But I posted the Windy Peppercorn that we submitted for Mile High. Came back as a 10. And there was some noise last night regarding females in the hobby. I'm not going to get a whole lot into it, but I will say that whole ordeal last night, I was in and out watching, trying to figure out what the hell people were talking about.
I couldn't take it.
And I cannot believe, first off, that those two guys collaborated. I obviously know Platinum, so I know of Leighton and I know of Blez. I can say I've known of Blez for several years, and I can't stand watching him. Don't watch Leighton either. I can't believe that was something that was exposed as, you want to say, creme de la creme of the hobby when you're talking $40,000 a spot, and that's how it was put on.
Yeah, I gotta check this out. I don't even know what it is. I mean,
it was bad, bro.
It's a 7-hour long break. They did 25 cases of Flawless because for some reason, and I'm not going to tinfoil hat this, but I'm going to tell you, I think there is some stuff going on with Flawless. I'll be blunt and honest about it. I would not be surprised at all if the LeBron triple logo hasn't already been pulled. If it is known that the card has already been pulled, it devalues the cases. So what more sense does it make than to get rid of these things while they're inflated and make it look like the chase is on before it is exposed that it's been pulled?
Even Flawless baseball was horrible this year.
Well, it's not
there's
that this is
there's a lot of breakers that didn't like it.
The price of it's too high.
Yeah. For what you're getting out of it, it's not worth it.
The cases, last I had heard, they were 40,000 a case. 40,000 a case. Now they're chasing one card, the LeBron triple logo man. Now, my question and the reason I feel this card might be pulled. They mentioned last night that there is approximately only 300 cases left, which is only approximately 10% of the entire production run left. If you're telling me 90% of the product has been open, and then they just did another 25 cases last night, how in the hell has only one triple logo man made its appearance in the public eye? And it was arguably the worst one of the three that I know of they put in the product.
Canton and Card Market just gave your response, brother.
What's that?
I think they provided a great response to that question.
I never understood that a person wearing a PSA shirt to grade quits and puts an SGC shirt on to grade. His or her opinion is worth less. Pretty dumb. Overpriced slabs like they are bedazzled. That's a perfectly good point. It's no different than BGS guys going to CSG and the CSG values not being there. Think about it. I mean, Andy Broom is one of the most known graders in the hobby for vintage. And now he's over at CSG. Now, nothing against Andy personally, but Beckett vintage was never actually highly touted. But in the retrospect, they also have the modern grader from Beckett as well, and it doesn't help that aspect either. So,
did you see the special rates I showed y'all that Beckett's having at the Charlotte Comic Con here in Concord?
I did see a post, something about a person that's going to be set up there or an artist there or something.
Yeah, they're doing the Charlotte Comic Con is held here in Concord at the convention center, but Beckett's going to be there on Sunday to accept cards, and their special rates: a premium 5 to 10 business day turnaround with subgrades. Their special rate for one card is $250.
$250 for the lowest tier
for one card, premium 5 to 10 business day turnaround with
and SGC right now is doing 10-day turnaround for $23
without subgrades, $125.
That's absurd. Like, that's called missing your mark. Like,
Wait, so 250 with subs, 125 without?
Yes. Per card.
$125 for subgrades?
Without subgrades.
No, but it's 250 with
Oh,
them.
yeah.
So they're
$125.
adding $125
That's their
for
special
putting
rate.
subgrades on.
Special rate.
Guys, I will offer you a discount. Send your cards to BGS for $125. Then send them to me, and I will write on the label, like on the slab, and let you know approximately what those subgrades were at 25% of the price. How about that?
Then you'd qualify the card as like a V friend.
Yeah.
Whatever we want, I'm saving y'all 75%, and I will put subgrades on there. Now, whether they're relevant or not, I can't guarantee that. Speaking of guarantee, this is something I did want to mention to you guys because I found this interesting. Now that we've seen this little bit right here with the CSG thing, okay, and remind you that these two are the same, but now this is going to be this. So I noticed here they have a guarantee, and it says their guarantee of authenticity and grade is the strongest in the sports card certification industry. If you click learn more, they guarantee that your card is not overgraded, meaning it is not graded higher than CSG's grading standards. But what the hell did we just look at?
It's too funny.
What are
It's so
these,
funny,
guys?
It's sad. They
It's
did
like
such a good thing, and then this one issue is going to jack it all up.
you spend all this time and money doing research, right? You do all these market studies, you have all these think groups and whatever they said, and they don't think about, okay, we're going to change the label, we're going to do this, but then they don't think about the actual bringing it to market piece, right? How do they have all those people they're paying big cash to consult? Because anybody that's a consultant knows you make friggin' bank, and they don't think about this shit.
Because let's be honest,
It's all about the 10.
Well, they're catching hell too with that whole eBay.
that's all
thing.
anybody cares about.
Yep.
That's
Are
all
they
anybody cares
still
about.
catching hell? Isn't
True.
CSG catching hell about the eBay stuff?
I don't know. Not that I don't know.
That-
Like with the cards getting damaged, the way they're being shipped, and
Oh, really?
I'll tell you, I didn't care for the way mine came back because it had the it has like 4 elastic straps in it, and they had the elastic straps on the corner of the card, and they just put them in a card saver. Now, I also don't understand why they're in 4 sleeves when they come back. I'll be honest with you guys. So I thought my card was damaged, and
what's the price point on that, Bobbles?
I slit the top. Mine still has the seal intact, but my card's gone. So I figured out a way to get it open without breaking the seal.
There you go.
What was your question?
What's the price point that eBay does that?
It's gonna go down to $250.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The card I bought, it was the green PMG, Jason Robertson. It well exceeded. Well, I shouldn't say well exceeded like $1 million or nothing, but that was 1,500, so
Okay.
it was above the threshold.
Yeah, it started at $750. It already dropped to $500, and now ultimately it'll be anything over $250. We'll have to go through that.
They're going to force us. They're going to force eBay transactions to do it. They're going to screw us.
Well,
Just another fee.
While I'm on here with everybody as well, and there's still people watching, I had made a mention, and I talked to you guys about it in the private chat. I had made a mention of selling on Whatnot, and I have at this moment decided not to. I found out from a friend who does the comic side on there that they have implemented yet another fee that they're charging people. And he said right now his fees are coming out to about 25%. And
insane.
there's no way in hell I'm paying a company 25% to stream when I could get on here and do it live on YouTube if I wanted, or I could, give the stuff away 25% cheaper in the Facebook group, or, on eBay, whatever the case may be. I'm not paying them 25% to use that platform. It doesn't make any sense what some of the fees are being considered as. And so I am not, I don't think I'm going to partake in using them. So, but it would have been nice for everybody because, y'all could have paid right there. It would have printed me out everybody's addresses, all that stuff. But I would rather not get within that mess.
That's too much money.
Yeah, I don't want to go that route anymore. So, but anyway,
man, I'm diabetic, y'all.
oh, you're good, man. I just got a text message. I'm probably gonna need to get going because
hey, man, thank
the
you for
missus
the
left to
invite.
go
I've
get
enjoyed it.
my daughter's friend. Hey, we'll have to do it more. Maybe we can set up a schedule. Either we can schedule it on a night each week or whatever. We can have more people on. Try to figure out what works for everybody and all that. But I just hadn't been on all week.
Hey, my PC Friars are on a friggin' miracle run right now. They're down by 1. Holy shit.
Hey, for those that are that keep up with Bibles, and he's throwing this invite out, y'all, it's like really easy. Yep. You don't have to have this software. He sends you the invite and you just click on it. You just need to have a camera, for your device, whether it's your phone or your laptop.
Yeah, you can do this right from your phone.
Yeah, it's very easy, y'all. And for those that want to, get more into the community for YouTube, that don't do videos, this is an easy transition, and definitely Refractor Jones has to be your next guest.
Well, yeah, and he just put this up, and I'm going to tell y'all, so you guys know, Refractor knows, Guns knows, Natsman knows, JD knows, Seth Gordon knows. There's many people in this chat. Big Scott's been around. There's many people in this chat know that I used to go live every single night. I literally, that was my hour a night. I would get on, talk to people. We'd talk hobby, that sort of thing. Some things in life happened that drew me away from it, etc. Now it's a matter of just, there's a lot of different things going on. But Refractor and me actually were chatting earlier today, and he kind of mentioned something too that made sense. And I like getting on discussing with you guys, but I also like having the other opinion. Like, this isn't just me spilling my thoughts on CSG. It's other people's opinions, and having discussion from more than one side. I think the knowledge, contrary to people's belief on some fronts, I don't know everything. I don't even know half of everything. So having more knowledge, having more opinions, having more experience, having more interest in building the community and different perspectives, I think can help everybody. So that I do want to do this more. If y'all ever want to, get on and do something one night, just hit me up and be like, hey, what are you doing Thursday? Can we go live or whatever, And if y'all want to do it sometimes on your channel, just let me know. As long as I'm free, I don't care to do it. So
yeah, I agree, man. Like making videos, like pre-recorded ones, gets like really old. I've certainly been on my channel trying to get do more lives, and definitely with guests, it's much more enjoyable for me anyway. Like I don't mind making a video or whatever, but honestly, like there's so many people doing the same things, and I feel like when I make a video, I'm doing it because I feel it's kind of worthwhile for somebody, but it gets old when like you have to waste 40 minutes to an hour making a video and 25 people watch it. And it's like, all right, like whatever. Like, yeah, I get it. There's all kinds of algorithms and things like that at work. But like when you do these lives, you start to meet people, right? And you build friendships, and then it leads to, conversations, not on YouTube and this and that, and hopefully hanging out and things like that down the road. But don't if you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I'd like to do that. Like Canton needs to get on one of these. Homeboy makes these videos all the time, and he never ever and he's got tremendous knowledge and passion. Like,
and you don't have to show your face, Canton.
I'm calling you out, Canton. Put on a goddamn ski mask and get on the next live.
right. I've told him that too. And I'm gonna tell you, you mentioned the sitting down and recording videos. I see the missus is back and she chatted. She will tell you, I actually come up here several nights and record a video. And I will be like, that's not worth uploading. I sat and rambled, or somebody's going to take it the wrong way and think that I'm being negative or something like that. And then I'm like, nah, I'm not going to upload it. It didn't, I'll tell myself it didn't make sense. I got off topic. It didn't make sense. I sounded negative. And sometimes I'll even delete it and record the same video 4, maybe 5 times. What I will tell you guys that it does, it allows me to talk out my thoughts. Whether or not I'm putting it on YouTube, whether or not anybody is watching it, it's at least allowing me to talk out my thoughts.
Yep.
So that's one reason why, even though a lot of times there won't be a video, like I did the video on my brother's birthday. I didn't figure most people would be interested in it. It was my Pokemon collection. That was a shout out to my brother. And it was sharing guess what, guys? I have a shitload of Pokemon in my collection. Right. Not every card I grade is about a dollar value. Not every card I grade is about throwing it on eBay. Sometimes I just do stuff just for me and to have some fun.
Yeah, I'm with you. I did a video and I didn't post it about my dad and collecting, and went over cards and stuff, with Daddy, and that was for me. And I didn't post it. I'm not going to post it. But yeah, y'all, if you can't, I understand you're maybe burned out, done with videos, man. You do some great videos on different slabs and different topics. So don't give up on doing videos, brother.
All right, boys. I hate to leave, but I got a tie game. I got to go scream.
All right. Be good, JD.
He has to go pee is what he's saying.
Yeah, that too.
All right, man. I'll see you.
Thank you.
But
Bobbles, thank you, man. I've enjoyed it, brother.
Hey, me too. And I'm glad, again, some people that watch this may say, oh, he's out of his mind. But, again, that's why I pulled this up to show, it wasn't me just shooting the shit or like I'm not even trying to knock CSG, believe it or not. I actually.
You were positive about it this afternoon when you did it.
Well, like when I mentioned it to you guys, I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. They changed the label. They're changing out the scale. But then when I started hearing, well, the 9.5 is going to a 10, I'm like, hold on, let me look at some stuff real quick because this doesn't make any sense. That's why I wanted to discuss it, because It literally doesn't make any sense. If we're going to bitch about PSA and their inconsistencies and a 10 that looks like it's, shifted way to the left, then we need to hold CSG to the same accountability and not say, well, they're changing their scale. No, their scale reads the identical thing. Don't say, well, slip me $5, I'll bump you. Don't do that. Stick to your standards. Do it right. Let's take the hobby back. Let's make it better and not give in to the horse shit.
99 data boys will get ruined with one shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got to push for stuff to be done right rather than just this. This can corrupt everything. And it's just the simple truth. So,
well, man, thank you very much. I hope y'all, everybody.
Yeah, thank you for everybody out there. If you haven't already, I know I don't ask often, hit the like button. It doesn't show me how many people like the video, and I don't ever really ask for it. Go hit Nat Smith's channel up, hit JD's up, hit Canton, Chili's in here, Refractors up in here. Many people up in here. Go hit their channels up. Let's build a community and have some damn fun. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and until the next video, I'm out.
Peace.